Hello, and welcome to Shamrock Talk, the internet's number one mother-son Celtics podcast. I'm your host, Jake Olin, here once again with my mother, Karen Olin.
Hello.
Recording this afternoon, Sunday, April 28th. Knicks Sixers just wrapped up. We both watched that. But the bigger news, Celtics last night get the win, game 3, take a 2-1 series lead against the Miami Heat. I think I opened it up last time, Mom, so I'll let you give your initial thoughts this time. What'd you think? Much
So the
improved.
so the best part for me is Jimmy Butler's opening statement of how he was tired of hearing how special the Celtics were. And I
with
thought he was
his
like,
with his two giant weird hair
yes,
things.
yes, yes, like his ponytail things or whatever. But I just thought he was very dismissive of the reporter in some ways, but also just kind of talking trash.
Yeah, of
So that made for me the win. And I like Jimmy Butler. I like how he plays. I like, like I
course.
said, I like the Heat. But I just thought it was kind of dismissive and rude of him. And it was kind of nice to prove him wrong. They believe. What do you believe now? We believe. Ooh.
Well, I mean,
Um,
in his defense, what else are you gonna say? I mean, you gotta root for your guys,
Well,
but
the comment about he's tired of hearing on television how reporters and broadcasters say how special the Celtics are,
yeah,
and I have to give credit. I watched Van Gundy, and they were talking about, well, but the Celtics deserve. Did you see the record? Number one in offensive rating, number two in defensive
yeah.
rating. He said, I don't think anybody's saying anything about the Celtics that they don't get.
So you watched the
They
national
don't deserve.
broadcast?
I do. Not a
Wow,
huge fan of Scal.
unbelievable.
I'm not a huge Scal
Yeah,
fan. I have to
yeah,
say.
but it's not about that. We have only so many
Gordon.
Gorman games left.
I Gorman.
You,
Gorman. Yes,
you
yes, yes.
spurned the
Yeah, yeah.
night
But I
Gorman
like to
experience.
hear real criticism of the Celtics. I
Of
like to hear
course.
what objective
I think
people have to
I
say.
in my head have enough criticism of the Celtics.
Yeah. I like an
To make
objective
do.
view
Yeah.
of the Celtics
I
sometimes, because I
watched the
do listen
local.
to the local almost every single time.
Yeah, of course.
But you're
Yeah,
right.
I
The
get it.
next ones I might have to just
It's his
because,
last
right?
could be his last two games.
Yeah.
Hopefully his
So
last two
I
games.
will watch his last game on the
In
local
an
channel.
ironic way.
The game itself, I thought our defense the first half was phenomenal. I thought that is where we really made the difference, right? And we can play
100%.
that defense. We just oftentimes don't.
Yes.
we're lazy, and we weren't lazy. That I thought they really came out with high intensity and wanted that game. You could see they wanted that game. And I think that to me was and that high defense on Hero, denying him the ball much of the time. I mean, they worked really hard up there, and I think that threw Hero's game off. I think the shots
Hmm.
he did get were uncomfortable for him, and the ones he made, we were lax. Weren't there moments when you were watching the game and he would be wide open up there? There are a couple times, and I was like, "What are we doing? Don't let him get going." And those are the ones he made, and then we would get back on him and deny the ball again. But I thought our defense made all the difference. Your comments?
No, I 100% agree. I mean, obviously 12 points in the first quarter, but the Heat, I mean, they couldn't get anything going from the jump. Um, and yeah, that was the big difference maker. I thought Pritchard was fantastic on the
Yes.
defensive end. Just I don't know who got into his ear and was like, just you're only in there for so many minutes, just hound these guys. And that's what he did. He just
Agree.
was nonstop moving, nonstop up in their grill. And I think part of that's learning kind of the physicality and the refs and what they're going to get away with and being able to just kind of get up in their grill. Um, you probably didn't hear this, but it was Scal that said, it seems like the refs, when you're out on the perimeter, are allowing whatever. And then as you kind of go up for shots and kind of drive, that's when they start calling fouls. But on the perimeter, they're just letting both teams manhandle each other. And I
Yeah.
think we kind of adjusted to that and said, okay, if they're just gonna let this go on the perimeter, we're just gonna get up in your grill, and
Yeah. Well,
that's
and
what we
and
did.
especially off ball, defending somebody
Yeah.
off ball and denying
Mhm.
the ball, they are allowing a lot of contact, because that is what the Heat did to us last game, right?
Yeah.
They had their hands on us, wrapped around us off ball all the time. I mean, you
Hmm.
watch them, they always had. And I didn't think they did as great of a job. That I think they might have been so thrown by the lack of shooting. I'm not sure. But I didn't think their defense was as tight and manhandling this time. And I don't know if we changed our offense completely and that threw them, or it was just very interesting to me. I didn't think their defense was quite to the extent as it was. And maybe we were used to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think Spoelstra's face, as soon as Jason Tatum in the beginning hit a few threes, I think that whole feeling sort of washed over them. Like,
Yeah.
oh, if they're gonna hit threes and they're gonna
Well,
defend
well,
that
well.
way,
The
then
other thing is we didn't hit threes.
nope,
29%. I
that's a game.
mean, to win
Yeah,
a game by
that's a
20 and only shoot 29% is a great sign for us. I
agreed.
mean, again, the defense was the huge difference maker. I mean, they only scored 84 points.
Yeah,
And that's what they should score. They don't have scorers. They don't have the guys. They just don't.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and if you
And
can
if you
make them
can,
uncomfortable
yeah,
and
if you can get through that pick and figure out that screen at the top that Bam sets very well for Tyler Hero. Once he
it
figured
moves
that
every
out,
time and they never call it. I
it's
just don't. I mean,
not like,
why? Like he
yeah,
moves every single time on that screen and they
yeah,
never call it. I don't
no,
understand.
every time. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he is literally, there are times when he is clearing the person, not just
Yeah,
sideways,
I
but
know.
like literally moving forward.
And then continues to do it like after the play is like
They all do.
gone on the other side.
Watch,
Yeah. It's
watch,
crazy.
watch them
I
away
know.
from the ball. They are constantly sort of clearing and using their arms
Yeah.
all over the place. Yeah,
I
yeah.
know. It's
It's very
crazy.
interesting. Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to see at
Um,
least a couple of those called. You don't need to call all of them, but I mean, I don't think there's
yeah,
been one offensive like moving screen call this whole series.
yeah,
They
yeah.
do it every
And I
time.
think that was Drew Holiday in the second game was talking to the ref a couple times about that as he was guarding Tyler Hero and the movement of, I mean, if you're moving Drew Holiday out, you're moving pretty hard, right? I mean, he's a solid guy.
Yeah.
Um, but I will say that game and their defense made me feel a lot better about their one-on-one defense with other people. When they step up,
Yeah.
they can play great defense. It also makes you feel like, wait a second, why haven't you been doing this more often? Why
Yeah. It's
haven't you
like a
been
tale of
playing
two
better defense?
teams, like
Yeah,
every
yeah.
time.
Like, who
It's
are you?
like anytime we get ahead, we fall asleep at the wheel. It's unbelievable. It's like,
Yeah.
why is this intensity not there every night, especially in the playoffs? I don't understand.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And they've got to bring it next. You know that the Heat's going to bring everything, right?
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna
The
pull out
next
all the
game,
stops. They always do.
it's not going to be an easy game, so you
Yeah.
got to be prepared.
They're gonna be
And
up
you
in
are
you.
correct. It is going to be about defense because I don't know why. Yes, there have been games I think through the season where we have shot the three extremely well, but there are many games we did not shoot the three extremely well. I mean, we were in the 20s, and then there are other games that are in the 60% where or 50% where that's brought our
It's that
stats
I mean the
back
game's
up to
over.
where it is.
I mean the game is over if
Yeah,
we do that. I mean it's
exactly.
like
But there've been many where I mean, many
yeah,
low
and a game
percentage
like this you
games.
have to learn to win if that's the case anyway. And
Exactly, exactly. So
defense,
you can't
points in the
count
paint.
on that. Yeah, yeah,
Um
agree. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And it was so funny to see Tyler Hero, who took it to an extreme, but he reminded me a little of, remember Jason Tatum in the second game sort of had a little breakdown because things weren't
Yeah.
going his way, and Tyler Hero with his little breakdown because things were definitely not going his way. Yeah,
Nope.
he had a tough game. He had a really tough game. And Porzingis' defense was excellent. I thought that
Yeah.
he was much, much better and played Bam much, much better. I
Yeah, so
thought Bam
another
had a more difficult time.
another Scal comment you probably missed that he was
Yeah,
kind of
I didn't
noting where Porzingis changed his defensive strategy, where basically he was trying to play physical and body Bam, um, in game two, which kind of played right into what Bam wanted, getting fouls and kind of being able to. And what he kind of did this time is really just let him go where he want and stayed in front of him.
Mhm.
And he's like, I'm
Yes.
7'4". I'm just gonna contest it because Bam had so many shots right near the rim, but Porzingis is huge, and he just was
Yes.
like, I'm just gonna
Yep.
stand here, and you're gonna have to
Yep.
shoot over me, and
Yep.
you're gonna miss a lot. And he did miss a
Yep.
lot.
Yep.
So yeah, defense was much improved in that way, and I think he kind of unlocked that um unlock that rim protection, just in general too. I thought every shot in the paint, he was right there, not just for
Yeah,
Bam, but anyone. It was like,
yeah.
you're gonna have to
I
if you're
thought it
gonna
was
go in the
much
paint, you're gonna have to shoot over me, and
yeah,
that's kind
much
of what
better
he did.
rim protection. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought he did a much, much better job. Still not loving some of his offense, like,
No,
uh,
I mean,
at
pulls the
the
trigger on the three a little too
foul
much.
line.
It's like,
Yeah, but at the
yeah, and
foul,
the
I mean,
foul
he
line
was
too.
making,
Agreed.
but the foul line was just a weird. It just didn't feel natural. Some of the shots were,
I
I
know.
think he
Yes, I
he
know
thought he
you're
was going to get the
skinny.
easy foul call,
Yeah,
on the arm that previously in games he has gotten kind of a little call,
yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
they aren't calling anymore. They're just not
Yeah.
calling those. So his shot is like just quick, thinking he's gonna get the foul shot, but
Yes.
yeah, not loving some of his offense there.
Agreed. I
Still
like
needs to work a
Kristaps.
little
I
bit.
know you're skinny, but if Jaime Jaquez is on you, just dunk on him at the
Yes,
rim. Like, there's no
yes,
reason you should not be able to get past him and just like destroy him at the
yes,
rim. You don't need to take that
yes,
jumper. Just back him down and
yeah,
space jam arm dunk over him. Like,
yeah,
there's no reason he shouldn't be able to do that.
yeah.
So yeah, agreed.
Um,
And a couple quick trigger threes where it's like, oh my goodness, he just
yeah, yeah.
is not. No one on our team is afraid to chuck one up every once in a while.
No, and some untimely ones, right? Like
Yeah,
we don't even need
early
to
in the
do that.
shot
Why
clock.
are
Yeah,
you? Yeah, why are you hucking up a three? Very interesting. But I will, on the positive side, say there were some of the best cuts and passes that we've had in a long time in that game.
yes,
The second time Tatum has passed to Sam Hauser cutting to the hoop, what
yeah. They have a
amazing.
connection now that is
Yeah,
excellent.
yeah,
Those two just
yeah,
know where to be.
yeah,
Hauser knows where to be where Tatum wants him, and just
yeah.
Tatum is
And
hitting him consistently if he's open.
yeah. And Porzingis had a couple where he was at the foul line and he had two bounce
Yeah,
passes to
that give
people
and
cutting
go
in.
to Derek White was great.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And then there was one other one. I don't know if it was Jalen. I can't remember, but I thought there was one other one where somebody went. They may have missed it, but it was good. But anyway, yeah. So I think a little bit more of that, almost a little more ball movement when we weren't hucking up threes at times. There was a little more ball movement
yeah.
going on there.
And even, I mean, for Tatum only shooting 6 for 16, I thought he was great again. I mean,
Yes.
with the exception
Yeah.
of game 2 in the second half a little bit, I think he's been great all series. I mean,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
making the right
Well,
play almost
yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
Um,
Percentages at three are rough for everybody, not just him. Like,
yeah, but I mean, but that's a
yeah.
lot of that's just kind of make or miss. It's not,
Yeah.
I have no issue with the shot selection like I have in past playoff
Yeah. Yeah.
runs.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it doesn't become obvious unless it's a closer game. It's not so bad when
of
it's a game
course,
like
sure.
last
I mean,
night.
that's true.
In a closer game, when you're taking those shots and they're not going in, it's going to be like, oh,
Yeah.
we're going to have to do better. We're going to have to do better.
Yeah,
But yeah, 29%.
my only real complaint is this silly end of the fourth quarter thing where the starters are clearly not giving an effort anymore, but Joe won't put in the reserves, and it's like, kind of just let them hang
Yeah.
around like a little more than I'd like. It's like, if the starters are going to play at 50%, just put in the reserves and have those guys help.
Well, I agree. I mean, if you clearly have the game, why are they in there at all? At this point, you don't care about stats anymore, or you shouldn't care about stats, but you don't
Yeah.
want anyone to get hurt. And now you have people coming off the Heat bench who are still playing hard, and someone could get hurt. So it's just kind of a silly keep them out
Mm-hmm.
there. I don't understand that. They need to come out. If the game is clearly won in the fourth quarter, they need to come out. They just do. You just don't want anybody to get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not a lot of complaints, but they
No, I
handled
mean,
business early and sort of shut them down the first half. And then, I mean, second half, I have to say the Heat, you know, hung in there, right? We only won by 20. So it's not like
sure. I mean, it's hard to, keep keep going and beat them by 60.
yeah,
It's like, once you're up
yeah,
20,
yeah,
you're a bit on cruise control, and that's fine.
yeah. But I think it's going to be, I will be shocked if it's not a close game next game. I'll be surprised.
At least
They're
the
going
first half.
yeah,
They're not gonna let you
yeah.
just come in there and blow them out again. Agreed.
No, no. Unless fouls and refs kind of take it out of their hands, it'll
It's
be
killing me.
interesting. You're what?
The sun is killing me. I gotta move
Oh,
again.
the sun.
It's hitting my face.
Yeah. So anyway, much better game, much better feeling.
Agreed. I will say it bothers me to no end that the Heat just have the worst crowd of all time. I mean, every
They
time.
always
I
have.
mean, that
They always
building,
have.
there's 9 a.m. AAU games that have better attendance or better, the attendance is fine, better crowds than Miami. It's ridiculous. And
I'd
it's
like to know
really, I
what
mean,
that
it bothers
ticket
me.
price is.
It bothers me out of respect for the Heat because of how good of an organization and they are.
Yeah.
And I mean, the city just couldn't care less. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
No, agreed. Not a great sports fan base, at least
no,
at their
not
games
even a
anyway.
little. Yeah.
Weather, because the weather's great. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's all
So
just
many other things to do
old
in
people that,
New
I mean,
England in the winter.
well,
Not so much to do.
I feel like it's half the fans are retired Celtics fans that are in Florida now that fall asleep at
Yeah,
halftime and don't like,
yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
and yeah, and they've had such a good run the last
That's
few
what I'm
years.
saying.
It's not
Like
like
they're such a
they're
fun
a
team,
bad
well
team. Yeah,
coached. They were in the finals last year. They won 3 championships. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
there's just no reason for it. Mm,
yeah.
yeah, the
They are
crowd
lame.
flat out stinks. Well, yeah, I think that's enough. I mean, again, we don't have as much to say in the blowouts. Um, we can go around the NBA if you'd like. What have you watched in the last couple days?
They're all blending together.
I know we were just talking
Uh,
about this.
Timberwolves look good.
Yeah, I haven't watched any
OKC
of that. It's too late.
really good. Um, I watched the Knicks today
Yeah,
because you said it was a good game, and Jalen Brunson, man, he's unbelievable.
he's
And the
tough.
greatest part of Jalen Brunson is not just his offense; he puts his body out there for defense too. He plays hard defense. I give
Yeah,
him credit. He
flops a
plays,
little too much for my liking, but
yeah, yeah. I
but
mean, I don't
he's
think
a small
anybody at
guy.
that
Yeah,
level is taking the full on hit, right? But he
yeah.
puts himself back there more than some of our Celtics guys do. You don't see many stand in front of people flops for our team,
Yeah,
for
I did
sure,
earlier
for
this
sure.
season. I did look up. We were in like the bottom 3 team in charges or something. You don't, not a lot of guys in our team taking
Who's taking
charges.
a charge at this
No.
point? Even Drew's defense, I think, is taken not quite as physical as he was when he first came.
No.
I think definitely we're not a physical team that way. That's why the defense yesterday was so good because we really, for having being the second defensive rating this year, I wouldn't call us, I don't know, gritty or, tough tough defenders. But Jalen Brunson, I thought he was really good. Not just offensively, but he takes some hits, which, he gets in there for defense. Embiid, feel bad for that guy. No rim protection there. None. No rebounds
I
at the
mean,
end
he's
there.
just dead.
None.
At the end of the game, he's
Yeah.
dead. He can't get a rebound. I
Yeah.
mean, that last
Mm.
play, I mean, they just gave up the easiest layup of all time, and he's the guy that should be rotating over. He just can't. He can't physically do
Uh,
it.
Yeah, and it's not even just tired. I think he can't jump on the knee eventually. Like if you watch him, he's not really. They were saying the broadcasters were talking about when he faked the shot at the end, he should have gone in and jammed it. You haven't really seen a lot of those from him. I mean, I think it is hard to get up and off, not even get up in the air, but land on that knee. And again, defensively and rebounds, he used to be really in
Yeah.
command
Well,
somewhat there,
it
and he's
gets
not.
worse throughout the game too. I
Yeah,
mean, the Sixers were
yeah,
winning most of that game and
yeah,
just
yeah.
blew it. And they got to be just done at this point. I mean, 2 of those games they're leading the whole time and they blow them. I mean,
Yeah.
hard to come
Well,
back
Greg
from
said
that.
Greg read somewhere he has Bell's palsy.
He
Did
does.
you?
That was announced. Yeah,
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 that was
yeah.
the eye closing. And I
Yes.
said that, I'm like, something is really, I
Yeah,
thought it
yeah.
was just something he was taking for pain
So
or whatever. I was like,
yeah,
what is
that's
going
what a
on?
lot of the theories were. That's what I assumed. But I was like they were saying it it's mostly you mostly get Bell's palsy from like a virus but you can also get it from being hit in the face and like the nerve kind of shuts down or whatever.
Yeah,
So I think he got
but the
hit at some
eye,
point.
you watch him and he has a
Yeah,
really, I
he's
mean, it's a
just
struggle to keep that eye open
he's
at
taking
times.
quite a beating.
Yes. Yep. But it looks like they're going to be done. I'm not sure they can bounce back from either next game or the
No.
I don't think they can.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, which I mean, again, I don't want to jinx things, but the East is coming up all Celtics.
Who said
The East is
what?
coming up all Celtics.
Gonna be, I
No,
don't think the
there's
Knicks
zero
are gonna be hard,
excuses.
I think. I
Well,
agree 100%. There are zero
we don't
excuses.
see them next round. So
No, I mean,
Lillard's not playing tonight.
yeah.
Um, I don't know if you watched the Pacers Bucks. That was a fantastic game.
No, I
Overtime.
did not. Yeah, I
Chris
didn't
Middleton
watch
hit
the whole thing.
two rare buzzer beaters, or not buzzer beater, but game tying shots to, and then uh, what's his face? Halliburton hit the game winner, but
Yeah.
um,
And what's that series at? I don't know
2-1
what they
Pacers.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
play
yeah, yeah.
tonight.
Okay.
No
Yeah.
Giannis, no Lillard
Yeah.
in Indiana. So very well could
Yeah.
be. I mean, Middleton was fantastic, but he wasn't even. He had a rolled ankle and he was questionable play, and then he dropped 40.
Yeah. Why is
Um,
Lillard out?
Something in his foot I can't remember what they said it was, but he was allegedly in a boot after the game.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah, well,
So
slowly
yeah,
coming down
they're
to
both listed as out. Let's see. Trying to see what they say it's his Achilles.
mm,
Yeah, no, people said they saw him in a boot, so they could be
yeah,
done. I mean,
yeah, yeah. I wouldn't be
Indiana
surprised.
wins. Indiana wins
Yeah.
in Indiana today. They're up 3-1, and
Yeah.
uh, and then you're looking at we'd play Indiana in round 2,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then the other series would be most likely New York, and then I'd say Cleveland Magic's a toss up at this point. That series is tied 2-2. Um, but that's your final
Yeah.
four. But
Yeah.
that's your final four
I
in the
don't
East.
yeah. I don't know if they're my favorite people to be matched up against, but I think in a series of 7, we should have no problem with anyone, right?
Agreed. I mean, there's just
Yeah.
no excuses
Yeah.
now.
Sometimes
So
it's the enemy you know well, right? The Sixers, like we said, we really know. We know how to play them. We know how they play.
yeah,
Played enough to know. Bucks, same thing. We know
agreed.
them. I think that
Those teams
the
still scare
Magic
me
and
more than any of the other teams. I don't know.
well, consistency, I think is
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
more
they've
than
been there.
anything.
They know.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
obviously the
yeah,
Bucks won a title.
yeah, yeah,
The Sixers were one collapse away from beating us last year, and when Tatum uh miracle fourth quarter in game
yeah,
6.
yeah, yeah. It'll
So
be interesting. Let's just get past the Heat,
yes, exactly.
and
That's
I'll get
one
us
game at
past
a
the
time. I
Heat
don't want to get too far ahead, but
with no injuries.
it's
That's really
hard.
the
You also at the same time don't want to. We overreact to every game. It's like game 1, we're like sweep. Game 2, the sky is falling. So it's
yeah, yeah. I
one
just
game
think
at a
they, like I
time,
said,
but
they play
it's hard not
extremely
to
physical.
overreact.
They play extremely physical, and I just don't want any injuries. that's my that's my
Yeah,
big
I know that's
get
the
through
thing.
it
Everyone else
injury
is
free. Yeah,
limping in, and
yeah.
thankfully the Celtics seem at least no reports of
Thus
anything.
far.
Knock
Yeah,
on computer.
yeah. So no, I haven't watched any other
Yeah,
exciting games.
I
I've
watched
missed most
Bucks,
of the.
Pacers. I watched Sixers. A lot of the East. The West is on too late, especially here.
Yeah, I
So
watched
yeah.
a little bit of the last Nuggets Lakers game, but I couldn't stay up for the the end of it. But
Yeah,
I
I
did
watched
watch
like
a
a
little bit of
quarter
it.
of one of the games.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, like a lot of this here,
yeah.
it's an hour plus from Eastern, so it's like
And even though
11:30
they won last
starts.
night, the Nuggets will be. I mean,
Yeah, they'll be
There's just no
fine.
way. They just don't have enough scoring. The Lakers don't,
Yeah.
and LeBron just can't carry them.
Nuggets, Timberwolves next round though is gonna
Fast.
be a good one.
Yeah.
That is gonna be something.
Yeah. I agree. The way the Timberwolves are playing, and again, I don't know if it's because of who they're playing, right? It'll be interesting to see if they can
Yeah,
take on the Nuggets, but
of
they
course.
look good.
It's always every round is a new battle. You never know what you're gonna see out
Yeah.
of people.
Yeah. They look good right now. But
Yeah, but
again,
so do the Nuggets. The
Jokic.
Nuggets are a
Yeah.
juggernaut.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah. So yeah, we're in good
Yep.
shape, I think. Very relieved to have
I
that
hope
win.
so. Exactly. That was a big one. Getting stealing one back in Miami, getting home court advantage back at least.
Yeah.
Not that that matters because we can't win at home when we always win on the road against Miami. I don't know what the heck is up with
They
that.
were doing the statistics of
It's
both teams,
ridiculous.
right?
Yeah,
Last time
exactly.
too.
I
They
mean,
we
it's
win
like,
away, we lose at home. Yeah. Yeah. Too
it's
relaxed. I don't know
brutal.
what it is,
I don't
but
know.
yeah. Well, it's us under right under intense pressure or scrutiny, then we play well. Once we start to relax or our defense, we're just you
Yeah,
need
but
to be
you get
intense every
home
game.
with the crowd. I mean, I don't
I
know.
don't
It's
know. Yeah. Very
we used to
interesting.
never lose at home. I don't know
Yeah.
what's
And Joe Mazzulla, I know you're listening. Jalen Brown should never bring the ball up. That's all I have to say. Jalen
another
Brown should
PSA.
never bring the ball up. Ever, ever, ever. His shooting percentage, not at three, but overall, he was very efficient. I thought he played good defense at times, but he should never bring the ball up. Not a good passer, just simply not a good passer. And the Heat specifically know how to play him when he dribbles the ball up. They know
Yes.
specifically. So
They know
he
exactly what
should
to
not.
do.
And it
Yep.
was last. He didn't do it a lot. And I don't know if you noticed, but Derek White handled the ball a lot more
Yes, he
in
did. I did know
in
that, especially
yesterday's
in the
game.
first half. Yeah, he
I'm
was
telling you, Missoula's
um
listening,
yeah,
and he
14 shots.
followed our advice. I mean, he didn't shoot all that well either, but I do think the
7 for
passing
14
was better.
overall.
The ball movement was better.
Was much better,
You know,
much improved.
I just think they look, you know, and again, part of it is our panicking. The game before we were down, they were shooting lights out at three. And so suddenly it's on the shoulders of Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum to
Yes.
take it upon themselves. And then
But
the
you
ball
can't
doesn't
be doing
move. And
that. You just
no,
can't
no,
be doing that.
I
When things go
agree.
badly, just
Keep the
steady.
ball moving.
That's the Jokic thing. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
down 12, up 12, Jokic is the same. They play
Yes.
the same offense. He makes the right
Yeah.
play. He doesn't force
Yes.
anything. He doesn't look
No.
ever nervous or like
Yeah.
or any emotion really. He gets upset with the refs
No.
every once in a while, but
Yeah. Yeah.
um
Yeah. I've seen him yell a couple times at the ref, but you're
yeah, yeah.
right. For the most
But
part,
he's
he has the
just
same
steady.
faith.
He just chugs
Yeah.
along. He just
Yeah.
chugs
Yeah.
along.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we need to do.
Big thunderstorm here.
Hmm.
That was loud.
Getting cold here. It's
Ah,
sad.
yeah. Not here. New England. Finally, warmer weather. Woohoo! All right.
Well, all right. This has been
That's
Shamrock
it.
Talk, Game 3 recap. We'll be here all playoffs. It's gonna get a little messy. I'm gonna coming back. I'll have a flight for Game 5, which is unfortunate. So, won't get a pod after that. But we'll do a Game 4 pod, and then maybe a Game 6 pod and recap both games or something. Hopefully there isn't a Game 6, but
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
You never know with the Heat. You never know. There
Exactly.
better not be a game 7. That's all I don't
In
think my heart
Boston,
can
oh
take
boy.
a game 7.
Yes.
I don't think I can take a game 7.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But either way, rain or shine, we'll be here for it. You can find us
Yes.
on all platforms worldwide at Shamrock Talk Pod on Twitter, at Shamrock Talk on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. Go Celtics.
Go Celtics.